Hi, Geoff here. I'm at Zaytuna Farm, our permaculture demonstration site education centre in northern New South Wales, Australia. And it's been about 40 years since I stumbled upon permaculture, and today I'm excited because I want to share with you a new video series, a Q&A series that's special in some way. In what way? Let me tell you. These videos will be structured around a theme. So stay tuned until the end of this video, and then you'll be able to join in the fun. We're going to start with the two most commonly asked questions in permaculture design. One, all about mosquitoes, and the starting point for reading the landscape. Let's get started. Out of all the diverse questions I get asked, this would have to be the most common. How do we deal with mosquitoes when we design so much standing water into permaculture design? Well, mosquitoes breed and their larvae germinate in water. So you get these little wrigglers that wriggle up to the surface and breathe air. They don't break the surface tension, so they have little breathing tubes that come to the surface. Then they wriggle back down, and after a little while, they have to come back up to the surface. They make perfect fish food. They cannot survive where there are fish in water. It's impossible. So large bodies of water like this, as long as you have fish, you don't get any mosquitoes. The ideal breeding ground, the ideal body of water is too small and too dirty to hold fish. So a hoof print of a large animal like a horse or a cow, a muddy little hoof print full of water, is hot and dirty and can't hold any fish. That's ideal. So little pots, little saucers, little watering basins under flower pots, any upturned rubbish, coconut husks in the tropics that hold water. We've got to make sure all of those get turned over. So that immediately reduces the population of mosquitoes. Any small bodies of water that don't have fish, you must populate everything with fish that's big enough to hold even the smallest fish, because all fish will eat those wrigglers, and that'll reduce the population. We have 25 dams here and 3 kilometers of swale. They all flood those swales. Fish swim from one dam to another. We don't have hardly any mosquitoes here. I even sleep on the veranda at night and I don't get any mosquitoes. People wonder why. We have fish in everything, from tiny little fish to great big fish. Now, you can also design in all kinds of mosquito predators. In permaculture, we have pest problems, we design in predators. We disfavor the pest, we favor the predator. Of course, mosquitoes are a pest. In the tropics, they're really dangerous. With malaria, one of the worst problems of human health in the world, we can design this out. Easy. Not only fish, but you can have predators like bats. Bats can eat 800 mosquitoes a night, these little insectivorous bats. You have birds, insect-eating birds. You also have frogs. All you need is shallow edges to ponds. You get lots of frogs. You can hear lots of birds here, see? Then you can have lizards. Now you just need rock piles, thermal mass of rocks, nice and dry, give you a lot of lizard habitat. Then dragonflies. A lot of people don't know these dragonflies, these amazing insects, fly through the air, predating on other flies and particularly mosquitoes. They can eat hundreds of mosquitoes in a day. They have great big long legs with grappling hooks that hook the flies and mosquitoes out of the air as they fly. They're flying with amazing skills. In their larval form, the dragonfly is aquatic. It lives underwater and it's a ferocious predator. It eats mosquito larvae. It even eats tadpoles. It'll even eat small fish. They even eat each other. They're incredibly vicious aquatic predators. Then they hatch into this flying machine of amazing capability. So you favor the predators. I know when I build a dam, I build a pond, if it's got a spring-fed body of water coming towards it, within a few hours, you'll get a little bit of water in the bottom of this dry, excavated earthworks. Within an hour, a dragonfly just arrives magically from nowhere. Water attracts dragonflies. So little bodies of water, little ponds, frogs, dragonflies. You'll get birds coming down. You've got feeding tables, perches, water baths, and breeding boxes. You can make special boxes for bats. Favor the predator, disfavor the pests, fill all the water with fish if it's big enough to hold any fish at all, and turn all the small bodies of water over. And that's it. And be careful of bromeliads. The flowering plant bromeliad has a little hollow with water in it, and wherever you get collectors of bromeliads, you get a problem with mosquitoes. So be careful of those bromeliads. I know they're pretty flowers, but they're definitely too small to have fish in those little bromeliad hollows which hold the water for the mosquito larvae. You get frogs in there, but not much else. There you go. That's your mosquitoes. That problem's solved. Now for the second most asked question. Contour planning seems to be a large part of permaculture design. What exactly is contour and why is it so important? Well, contour is a level line in landscape. Following the contour is harmonizing with the landscape itself. That's actually the shape of the land, the curves of the land. This creates an edge, but it also creates a convenient track to work on, but it pacifies water. Water falls into a contour line like this swale as an example, and it stops and it spreads and it soaks. So it harvests the potential energy of the water and spreads it right across the property, sharing that energy into the soils. With it, it actually spreads the nutrient. So it rehydrates and it increases the potential fertility. It slows down that energy that would just run off and soaks it gently through the landscape, allowing all this life to take up that response. The response is in life. The soak is pacified, but the response is the life. This swale comes from a small dam, which starts at the larger dam where I answered the question about mosquitoes. This comes about this high in water and joins to 2 more dams. You literally have fish swimming from dam to dam through this swale. And of course, the frogs go crazy. You can hear this swale at night because it's just full of frogs and they're all singing away because they're so happy with a shallow body of water going right the way around the landscape. So these 4 dams on this swale are all sharing the same water when it's in full rain flow. But then as soon as it stops, as soon as the rain stops and the landscape starts to dry, this whole swale soaks in, plus the same height on top of all the dams. This is really pacifying the energy of water. Now, water, it can be the most destructive or the most creative element in any landscape. This also makes it very easy to walk. It's very, you can push a full wheelbarrow full of fruit or manure or compost or mulch along here quite effortlessly because you're not going up or downhill. Swales work because they're on perfect contour. If there was any slope on this, all the water would go to the low end. And this is important in planning because we're harmonizing with the actual form of the landscape, which was shaped by all the energy of millennia. This is a rounded landscape shaped by water itself. We're harmonizing with that water energy and harvesting it passively. Now, we can also do this on vegetable gardens. We can also do this on roads. We can do this in many, many ways through a landscape and get a better result over time. Let me show you some of those. This driveway's perfectly flat. It's on contour. So half the water goes downhill, the other half goes to this feed drain. This feed drain's on contour. It's easy to build. It's very easy to maintain. So it's more economic and it's more beneficial to harvest the water to the landscape where it's picked up in swales and soaked in. These raised beds are on contour. The footpaths are on contour. Makes it all easy. It's easy to walk, it's easy to garden, and it's easy for the water to infiltrate. Next week, I'm going to answer questions on how to start a permaculture food garden. So leave your related questions in this video below, and I'll answer the ones with the most upvotes next week. You can also follow my social pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under the handle Geoff Lawton Online. And remember, enjoy the journey.